Yeah, people, we're there back again. Another update on Vybz Kartel case. So remember, where there was the habeas corpus, and we said this was the real deal, June 10. Zane, and them are going to be in a court for a couple of days. This is just day one, people. So you can't form no conclusion from day one. You have to go at day 2, day 3, day 4. A matter of fact, here we go. Nobody form a conclusion. Wait until the final date when the judge them can 3 of them give them verdict, and then you form a conclusion. Too early, but you know we have to update and make you know what go on. And you know me go on if you like the video. If you support brand the channel from long time, you know we give credible and factual information. May I wait? Alright, give thanks for that. Give thanks to the like. Small thing for you, but it's a big thing for we. We have a couple of things we want to get through today. Some important revelations were made, and this is just day 1. Can you imagine day 2, day 3, day 4? Problem. So we're going there, we'll give you the update them. If you're not subscribed, make sure you say subscribe. I want to hear something from the lawyer first, and then we get into the key points. Make sure you stay tuned and watch the entire video.
Today we primarily dealt with preliminary issues as it relates to fresh evidence and the admissibility of some of the affidavits. Tomorrow we begin the substantive hearing on the matter. Some of the information in some of the affidavits were struck out. Are you satisfied that the information that has been struck out is not in any way putting the appeal, the matter in jeopardy? Yes, we are satisfied, and if it is that while we're making the submissions we should take issue with any of those, I'm certain that we will raise them at the appropriate time. Were you in contact with Mr. Palmer before the hearing started this morning? Today? Yes. No, we did not have an opportunity to visit the lockups today, as court began at 9:30 and usual admittance to the correctional facilities will begin at 10 a.m. What's his general state of mind as this hearing begins? Prior to today? Yes. Last we spoke, all of the appellants are eager to have their matter dealt with, so that the issue of their freedom can finally be determined. They're eager to return to society and to their families. So we are endeavoring to ensure that that is attainable. As attorney, are you hopeful that this case will be successful? Very hopeful. We have put in a lot of work and a lot of time in preparing for the matter, and we are endeavoring to put our best foot forward in representing the men and vindicating them.
The country's acting director of public prosecutions, Claudette Thompson, took to her feet shortly after proceedings got underway. She raised several preliminary objections to aspects of the affidavits filed by the accused men and their relatives. 2 of her objections stood out. Kartel's son, Adidja Jaheim Palmer, outlined in his filing that he believed his father's heart would be unable to manage a retrial due to a medical report. Kartel, whose given name is Adidja Palmer, has faced several health scares since he was incarcerated in 2014. The young Palmer alleged in his affidavit that his grandmother prays every night for his father to be released from prison. The young Palmer alleged that his father's imprisonment has affected their family life. The DPP objected. Justice Marva MacDonald Bishop agreed in part. She struck out the parts of the youngster's affidavit that spoke to his father's medical condition. She also rejected claims of alleged prayers from Kartel's mother. According to the justice, the claims amounted to hearsay and involved matters the young Palmer had no competence to speak to. The DPP's office also attempted to object to aspects of Kartel's affidavit, claiming his human rights were being violated by terrible prison conditions in Jamaica. The judge refused to uphold those objections. The judges also threw out objections to aspects of Sean Campbell's affidavit, which criticized the coverage of the matter by untrained journalists and online bloggers. Sean Storm believes that coverage has colored public perception and has brought into question the possibility of him receiving a fair retrial. His sister also alleged in her filing that the family would be unable to find the money to mount a defense if a retrial were ordered. She says in her affidavit that the Jamaican justice system would be unable to find an impartial jury to rehear the matter. Despite the acting DPP's objections, The justices allowed those aspects of the affidavit to stand. It was the affidavit of Andre St. John that raised the issue of uncertainty as to when a retrial would be held if one were ordered. The justices inquired as to whether there was a backlog of cases sent back to the Supreme Court for retrial. Having not received a satisfactory response, Justice Marva MacDonald Bishop noted that the judges would instruct the Registrar of the Court of Appeal to find out the status of cases where retrials have been ordered. Justice MacDonald Bishop noted that the length of time it was taking for retrials to begin was material to Kartel's case. She insisted that it was the need to be fair that led her to request the report. Defense counsel advised the judges that it would be fair if they requested a report on cases going back 6 years. The retrial matter is being heard by Justices Marva MacDonald Bishop, Paulette Williams, and David Fraser. Substantive arguments will begin at 9:30 Tuesday morning.
So people, these are the points I want to touch upon today. Now you hear it clearly, but at the end of the day, I still have to explain it. That's why I say watch the entire video. Now for the first part, Vybz Kartel's son, Zane, he gave information in court in which the judge never accepts certain parts. Them struck it. That means them not allowed to be a part of the record, a part of the case. The part about Vybz Kartel mother pray for that part them never understand why it even struck her. Because that not really have no bearing upon the case whether Kartel mother pray or not. So me never understand how that part they make it news or how that part. But whatever. So just struck that part there. The part where I say Vybz Kartel sick, him heart a fail. She look upon Vybz Kartel's son and I said, no, you can't determine if him can manage the case or not or how long him go last. Because you don't have no medical knowledge of that. You're not credible as it relates to that. Now, the part where telling in other case is the assistance of Serpi to Vybz Kartel case. Yes, you heard me right. The assistance or the help from Vybz Kartel, Serpi, to Vybz Kartel case. And this is key as it relates to the retrial because this is what a lot of persons are having the conversation about. These are one of the key points them why them say a retrial might not take place. And that is because you cannot find an impartial juror, an impartial jury. And for there to be a fair case, as you hear the law, as you hear the justice say, one of the judge them say, fear, them want this thing to be fair because remember the world I watch. You need to have an impartial jury. Now remember, Serpi are one of the man them will show a lot of things about the case. Not only him. Them does use Serpi because him are one of the popular vlogger, them are one of the popular name them. But and not only Serpi, a whole heap of vlogger. If you check on the internet right now, a whole heap of people give them opinion, and a lot of persons would have formed their opinions on the case, whether if you say Kartel guilty or if you say innocent. And a fresh people is them are going to end up get. My next question after that is, can a retrial take place with just the judge them alone? That means just judge, not jury. That is a key point as well in terms of consideration whether there will be a retrial. Because I feel like say, if it continue, them can't use jury. If it is a case where you have to use a jury in a case like this, which we not research as yet, but we can leave in a comment section where certain cases, them say need a jury. Because if you remember in the Privy Council, the Privy Council did say in a freedom jurisdiction, when the jury is tampered with, you get a man say it can go to judge. And them say, in Jamaica, we not change a law there. Once a murder and them high profile type of case, you have to have a jury of your peers. So if it is that stand, this is going to be a key point in why there might not be a retrial. So that is the second point. The third point, Sean Starm's sister, they made that point in Sean Star team. Now the third point, as it relates to if there is a retrial, right? How long this thing are going to take, and the judge show say she going to go back as far as 6 years to see where the courts them in terms of retrial, how much of them have been granted, how much of them successful, how much of them start, how much of them finish. Because that is what we are trying to determine from this hearing, you know. Is this thing feasible? Does this thing make sense? all of the parameters that needs to be met to make this thing work, are they there? And these are some of the key pointers them we get discussed today. There are some persons, as I tell you before, where I jump to conclusion and I say, because she say she want to check and say, that means that she automatically I say there will be a retrial. No, you have to understand, you know, although someone still won't. You see me, some people just want to hear yes or no. You see that party I to the reason and the talking, enough for most people. Enough people. This, no, you have to just wait until the final day. June 16 or 15 when them decide, and then you can talk after that. But don't jump to conclusions. You have to make the case play out and listen to this side and then this side and then this side. You can have conversations, but not jump to conclusion. Well, if you want, you can jump, because you don't know only for jumping one. But anyway, so that are the things that were revealed for the first day. You talk about the whole Vybz Kartel son, the health of Vybz Kartel, can the case continue? She said she don't want to hear that part. The part where she want to hear though. You see the part where them say about the SIRP and the juror misconduct, she accept that. Because the DPP, the officer of the DPP, they do want to throw out that part and say, I won't not talk about it. Vlog of them not fake, nothing or whatever. The judge said, look here, no, make that part stay. Part that kind of sound like it makes some sense and some meaning to the case. Make that part stay. You get to me and say, and the part where Kyria St. John, lawyer, point out, say, how long this thing would that take if there's a retrial? She say, yeah, do some research into that and see how long the other one them go. Alright? So that at day one, that is where we are so far. Leave in the comment section, let me know what you think so far. This is just day one, people. You get to me and say, and as you hear the lawyer talk and say they are confident. Them lawyers are always confident, both on the defense and the opposing. You get to me and say, so make we stay tuned. You know, we're there to give the update, them and make you know what took place. So, just stay tuned, stay safe. Leave a comment and let me know, and leave a like as well. I'm out.